In this video, we'll do two-step unit conversions and complex unit conversions as well. So let's have some fun. Here's the first one. Express 654 centimeters in kilometers. So in this question, we need to convert from centimeters to kilometers. And can you see the problem? I don't know a direct conversion from centimeter to kilometer. I don't know an equation that connects these two. But I do know how to convert from centimeters to meters. I know that 100 centimeters is 1 meter. So there's one equality I can use to convert from centimeters to meters. But then I need to use another equality to convert from meters to kilometers. I know how to do that. I know that 1,000 meters is 1 kilometer. So the key to solving this problem is to use two conversion factors. So let's see how to do that. So once we have our equalities, we write down what's given to us. We're given 654 centimeters. Next, we need to multiply with a conversion factor. Which conversion factor should I multiply with? Well, think of it as I want to get rid of my centimeters, right? Because that's how I want to go towards kilometers. Which of these two will help me in getting rid of centimeters? This one, because there's centimeters over here. Okay, now how do I write this conversion factor? Either I can put this in the numerator and this in the denominator, or this in the numerator and this in the denominator. Which one do I go for? We go for the one which allows me to cancel centimeters. Since centimeters is in the numerator, in my conversion factor, I want the centimeters in the denominator. So I want the 100 centimeters in the denominator, 1 meter in the numerator, and that's what my conversion factor is going to look like. So now centimeters cancel out. What am I left with? I'm left with meters. So my next step is to use this conversion factor to get rid of meters. Well, again, I can create a conversion factor with this in the numerator and this in the denominator, or this in the numerator and this in the denominator. I have to choose one in which the meter cancels out. So since the meter is in the numerator, in my conversion factor, I want the meter to be in the denominator. So 1,000 meters should be in the denominator, 1 kilometer should be in the numerator. So I multiply with 1 kilometer divided by 1,000 meters. And look, the meter cancels out and I'm done. I finally have my kilometers. So the last step is to put all of this into our calculator. So let's do that. So we plug this into our calculator, 654 times 1 times 1 divided by 100 divided by 1,000. And we get 0.00654 kilometers. The last step is to check for the significant figures. We have 3 significant figures over here in our question. So we want to make sure our final result also has 3 significant figures. And we do have 3 significant figures because remember, the leading zeros never count for our significant figures. So this is our final answer. Before moving on, here's a question. There's actually a direct conversion from centimeters to kilometers. 100,000 centimeters actually equals 1 kilometer. So could we have used this and done this in one step? Yes, we could have, but I didn't have this equation at the back of my head. And the whole point is we don't need to remember all the conversions directly. We can just use the conversions that we do know and use multiple conversion factors. All right, on to the next one. October has 31 days. How many seconds are in the month of October? Why don't you pause the video and try to do this by yourself first? All right, so let's see. We're given in days and we have to convert that to seconds. I don't remember any equation that, any equalities that directly convert from seconds to days. But I do know that 1 day equals 24 hours. So that's one conversion factor I can use to convert days to hours. I know 1 hour is 60 minutes, okay? And I know 1 minute is 60 seconds. So by using these 3 conversion factors, we can slowly and steadily move from days to seconds. So let's try to do that. All right, so the first step is to write down what's given. We're given 31 days. Okay, now I'm going to use this conversion factor to go from days to hours. So what do? Well, I have to multiply this with a conversion factor from here. And for that conversion factor, I want to get rid of days. So I want days in the denominator in my conversion factor. So I'm going to write that as 24 hours divided by 1 day. So multiply by 24 hours divided by 1 day, the day cancels out. So I've converted this into hours. Next, I'm going to use this conversion factor to go from hours to minutes. And again, how do I set this up? Well, I'll multiply this by I want the hour in the denominator and the minutes in the numerator. So I'll multiply this by 60 minutes divided by 1 hour. And that helps me get rid of the hour. Finally, I'm going to use the last conversion factor to go from minutes to seconds. So how do I do that? Well, again, I have to multiply by the conversion factor where I need the minute in my conversion factor to be in the denominator, again, to cancel it with the minutes over here. So I'm going to write my conversion factor is going to be 60 seconds divided by 1 minute. So I'm going to multiply this by 60 seconds divided by 1 minute. The minute cancels out and I'm done. I have seconds finally. So now all I have to do is plug this all into my calculator carefully. So let's do that. Here we go. So 31 times 24 times 60 times 60 divided by 1. So that's it. All right. So we have 2678400 seconds. And there you have it. Wait, what about significant figures? Shouldn't we care about significant figures? No, because these are exact values. They're not measurements. So we don't have to worry about significant figures for this one. This is our final result. But again, before moving on, we could ask, hey, could I have used 1 hour equals 3,600 seconds? That way I could just use 2 conversion factors to get to my final answer. Of course you can, and highly recommend you to try and ensure that you get the same result. But again, the point is, I mean, if you do remember this, sure, we could have used this, but I didn't remember it, so I just prefer using this. The whole point is you don't have to remember a lot of conversion factors. You can just use the ones that you do remember, and you can use multiple conversion factors, and we can arrive at the answer. All right, moving on to the last question. Here we're gonna deal with complex units, meaning you can have 2 units. For example, we're dealing with speed, miles per hour, or meters per second, or if you're dealing with density, for example, you can have grams per cubic centimeters. So let's do one. The average speed of a fastball in a major league baseball is 149 kilometers per hour. That's around 93 miles per hour, if you're wondering. The question is, how many meters per second is that? So let's see, we're given kilometers per hour and we need to convert it to meters per second. The core idea is still the same. We now need conversion factors from kilometers to meters. We need to think about that, and hour to seconds. Okay, so let's start with what's first given to us. We're given 149 kilometers per hour, which is the same thing as writing 149 kilometers per 1 hour. I mean, this is just an easier way to think about it. Okay, now either we can start with the numerator and try to convert from kilometers to meters, or we can start with denominator and try to convert from hour to second. We can start anyways. Let's start with the numerator. Okay, so I want to get rid of kilometers and I want to bring in meters. Okay, do I know a direct conversion factor? Oh yes, I do. I know that a kilometer is 1,000 meters. So I can directly multiply with the conversion factor. How do I do that? Well, I need to get rid of kilometers. So I need the kilometers in the denominator in my conversion factor and the 1,000 meters in the numerator. So I'm going to multiply it by 1,000 meters divided by 1 kilometer. Kilometer cancels out. I'm done. I have the meters. So I'm done with this part. The second part now is to convert from hour to second. So do I know any conversion factor from hour to second? I don't remember anything directly from hour to second, but I know that 1 hour is 1 hour is 60 minutes. That's what I remember. So let me get rid of an hour by multiplying this with the conversion factor. What conversion factor should I multiply this with? Well, I need to get rid of hour. So to cancel my hour, I need r in my conversion factor in the numerator so that I can cancel it with the r in the denominator over here. So my conversion factor should have 1 hour in the numerator, 60 minutes in the denominator. So I'm going to multiply it with that, and look, the r cancels out. I'm left with minute. Now I need to see if I know a conversion factor from minutes to second. I know 1 minute equals 60 seconds. Again, I need to multiply this with the conversion factor. I need to get rid of the minute, which means I need minute in the numerator of my conversion factor. So I'm going to set it up as 1 minute divided by 60 seconds, right? So let me multiply it by 1 minute divided by 60 seconds. The minute cancels out, and look what I'm left with. I'm left with seconds in the denominator. There, I'm done with all my conversions. Now all I have to do is just plug this into my calculator. So here's my calculator. So 149 times 1000 divided by 1 divided by 1 divided by 60 divided by 60. And there it is, 41.388888889. So let me just write that down. 41.3888889 meters per second. And I have to take care of significant figures. There are 3 significant figures over here. So I need to round this off to 3 significant figures, which means I'm going to look at this digit to round this off. So I can get rid of all the digits over here. So since this is more than 4, I round up. So it's going to be 41.4. And there we have it.